You've probably heard it 1,000 times. Carbs are the enemy. They spike your blood sugar, make you gain weight, and are essentially the villain in your diet story. But what if I told you that the relationship between carbohydrates and blood sugar is far more nuanced than the internet would have you believe? Today we're cutting through the noise and getting to the truth. Whether you're trying to lose weight, manage diabetes, or just understand what's actually happening inside your body after you eat, this video will change how you think about carbohydrates forever. Let's start with the basics. When you eat carbohydrates, whether it's a slice of bread, an apple, or a bowl of pasta, your digestive system breaks them down into glucose, which is essentially sugar. This glucose enters your bloodstream, and that's when your blood sugar level rises. Now here's where it gets interesting. Your pancreas detects this rise in blood sugar and releases a hormone called insulin. Think of insulin as a key that unlocks your cells, allowing glucose to enter and be used for energy. This is a completely normal, healthy process that happens every single day in every single person. The problem isn't carbohydrates themselves. The problem is what happens when this system gets overwhelmed or stops working efficiently. When you consistently eat large amounts of refined carbohydrates that cause dramatic spikes in blood sugar, your pancreas has to pump out more and more insulin. Over time, your cells can become resistant to insulin's effects, meaning you need even more insulin to do the same job. This is the beginning of insulin resistance, which can eventually lead to prediabetes and type 2 diabetes. But before you swear off carbs forever, understand this. The type of carbohydrate you eat matters far more than simply eating carbs in general. This is where the conversation gets really important. There's a massive difference between eating a donut and eating a bowl of oatmeal, even though both are carbohydrates. Carbohydrates fall into two main categories: simple and complex. Simple carbohydrates are found in things like white bread, candy, soda, and pastries. They're digested quickly, causing rapid spikes in blood sugar, followed by dramatic crashes. These are the carbs that give all carbohydrates a bad name. Complex carbohydrates, on the other hand, are found in whole grains, legumes, vegetables, and fruits. They contain fiber, which slows down digestion and leads to a much more gradual, controlled rise in blood sugar. Your body has time to process these carbs efficiently, and your insulin response is measured rather than frantic. Here's a concept that changes everything: the glycemic index. This is a ranking system that measures how quickly a food raises your blood sugar. Foods with a high glycemic index, like white rice or white bread, spike your blood sugar rapidly. Foods with a low glycemic index, like lentils, sweet potatoes, or most vegetables, cause a slow, steady rise. But there's an even better measure called the glycemic load, which takes into account both the quality and quantity of carbohydrates in a serving. A watermelon has a high glycemic index, but because it's mostly water, a normal serving has a low glycemic load. This is why context matters so much. Let's talk about the unsung hero in this story. Fiber. Fiber is a type of carbohydrate that your body can't digest, and that's exactly what makes it so powerful. When you eat carbohydrates that are high in fiber, like vegetables, whole grains, beans, and fruits, the fiber acts like a buffer. It slows down the absorption of glucose into your bloodstream, preventing those dramatic blood sugar spikes. This is why an apple, despite containing sugar, doesn't affect your blood sugar the same way a glass of apple juice does. The fiber in the whole apple changes everything. Fiber also feeds the beneficial bacteria in your gut, supports digestive health, helps you feel full longer, and has been linked to reduced risk of heart disease and type 2 diabetes. When you choose high-fiber carbohydrates, you're not just managing your blood sugar, you're supporting your overall health in countless ways. The recommendation is to get at least 25 to 30 grams of fiber per day, but most people fall far short of this target. By choosing whole, unprocessed carbohydrates, you naturally increase your fiber intake and improve your blood sugar control. Here, as something that might surprise you, you can actually change how a carbohydrate affects your blood sugar by what you eat with it. This is called food combining, and it's a game changer. When you pair carbohydrates with protein and healthy fats, you slow down digestion and create a more gradual blood sugar response. This is why eating a piece of toast with avocado and eggs affects your blood sugar differently than eating the toast by itself. Protein triggers the release of hormones that help regulate blood sugar, and fat slows down the emptying of your stomach, which means glucose enters your bloodstream more slowly. This is why the Mediterranean diet, which emphasizes whole grains paired with olive oil, fish, nuts, and vegetables, has such powerful effects on blood sugar control and overall health. The practical takeaway here is simple. Don't eat carbohydrates in isolation. Build balanced meals that include protein, healthy fats, and fiber-rich carbohydrates. Your blood sugar will thank you, and you'll feel more satisfied and energized throughout the day. Now, let's address something that often gets overlooked: individual variation. The truth is, people respond to carbohydrates differently based on their genetics, activity level, stress, sleep quality, gut health, and metabolic health. Research has shown that two people can eat the exact same meal and have completely different blood sugar responses. This is why blanket statements about carbs being good or bad are so misleading. What matters is finding what works for your unique body. Portion size also plays a crucial role. Even healthy carbohydrates can cause problems if you eat them in excessive amounts. A serving of brown rice is different from 3 servings of brown rice, and your blood sugar response will reflect that. Timing matters too. Many people find they handle carbohydrates better earlier in the day when insulin sensitivity tends to be higher. Eating carbohydrates after exercise is also beneficial because your muscles are primed to absorb glucose without requiring as much insulin. The key is to pay attention to how you feel after eating different types and amounts of carbohydrates. Do you feel energized or sluggish, satisfied or hungry again in an hour? Your body gives you valuable feedback if you listen to it. So, if carbohydrates aren't the villain, what is? The real culprits are ultra-processed carbohydrates stripped of their fiber and nutrients, consumed in excessive amounts, often paired with added sugars and unhealthy fats. Think about foods that didn't exist 100 years ago. Sugary cereals, processed snack foods, refined white flour products, and sugar-sweetened beverages. These are the foods driving the epidemics of obesity, diabetes, and metabolic disease we're seeing today. The solution isn't to eliminate all carbohydrates. The solution is to focus on quality. Choose whole grains over refined grains. Eat plenty of vegetables and fruits. Include legumes like beans and lentils in your diet. These foods have sustained human populations for thousands of years. If you're concerned about your blood sugar or have been diagnosed with prediabetes or diabetes, working with a healthcare provider or registered dietitian is essential. They can help you create an individualized plan that works for your specific needs. Some practical tips: fill half your plate with non-starchy vegetables. Choose whole grains when you eat grains. Pair carbs with protein and healthy fats. Stay hydrated, get regular physical activity, prioritize sleep, and manage stress. All of these factors influence how your body handles carbohydrates. The truth about carbs and blood sugar isn't that carbs are bad. It's that the quality, quantity, and context of the carbohydrates you eat matter enormously. Your body needs carbohydrates for energy, brain function, and overall health. The goal isn't elimination, it's education and smart choices. Stop demonizing entire food groups and start understanding how different foods affect your unique body. Because when you work with your biology instead of against it, you'll find that managing your blood sugar and feeling your best isn't about restriction. It's about making informed, sustainable choices that support your health for the long term. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who might need to hear this. Let me know in the comments what you thought and what topics you'd like me to cover next. See you in the next video.